Good day everyone, Brad here, and we're going to talk lightsabers versus the Banshees that you get in Pandora. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I finally got to Pandora a little late on this, but I saw that they had these Banshee things, and at first I heard about it and I thought it was kind of silly, but then I actually tried it out and thought it was really cool, decided to get two of them, because they have a good special going on, and I wanted to compare them to the lightsabers, because Pandora and Galaxy's Edge are like the two biggest immersive lands that Disney has created, and it's kind of their two flagship like merchandise things they have. They have the lightsabers at Galaxy's Edge, Banshees over at Pandora, and I will compare them and see which one's better in which, and give you an overall rating. Now, be mindful that some of this is my opinion, some of it's fact, things such as price and experience and all that. It differs, but some of it is fact. So you can decide which one you think is better or get both. So before we get into the categories, I want to give a rundown of each product, just a baseline of what they are. If you know what they are and you're familiar with them, you can skip ahead, but I want to talk about these Banshees. So first of all, you see I've got one on my shoulder here, and you can turn the heads, you can open and close the mouth, and you can flap the wings. I've actually got the second one here, a little closer to give a better demonstration. This feels like, I don't know, it's really neat. It almost feels like it'd be like an animatronic in a way, the way they move and how they feel. You have little claws you can use to get on your shoulder or perch, and you've got the wires that go here in the little controller. And you'll see this one, there we go. Now this has to be stretched out for it to actually work better. So that controls the mouth. You got left and right motion here, and you got pull down a little the wings. So very, very neat overall. Then you have the perch it comes with as an accessory, which I don't think I grabbed, but it comes with a magnetic piece here, so you can put it under your shirt or something, put it on. You can unscrew this, AAA batteries, and the on and off switch for the audio is right here. So the whole time I'm doing it now, I don't even have the sound on. Turn it on real quick for you. So those are some of the sound effects you'll get from it. I'm going to turn its head. Alright, so that's essentially the Banshee. Not too much else to it. Now, we'll talk about lightsabers. They have two different kinds. You have the build your own, which is a whole experience in itself. And it's just a lightsaber. You plug in any type of blade, it will emit the color from the hilt. And they have legacy sabers, which are pre-built. There's literally nothing to really do with them other than put in a blade and you've got a lightsaber. So that's that. Now, our first category of the 7 is going to be the price, and we're going to compare these and see what's worth what. Now, this is the cheapest lightsaber I've bought, lightsaber hilt. We're going to go cheapest and most expensive. That are the experiences, really, because you have Ahsoka's, but again, that doesn't give you the full thing. Just this, when I bought it, was $110. This was the opening weekend of Galaxy's Edge. I feel like the prices might have gone up. I know they've raised the prices on some of them. Don't know if this one's included. But just that hilt, and it does come with a case. So this was the cheapest one, $110. Pretty sure it might have gone up, though. Now, a blade, just the blade, this right here, this was $60. Once you have one, though, you can use them for any Savi or Legacy lightsaber hilts. So that is a big plus. But this is $60, okay? Now, the Savi's Workshop experience, you get to build your own. It's a whole experience, and it includes a shorter blade, and you get the fantastic carrying case, which I have over here. I won't really show you right now. So that's that. Bam. Bam. So anywhere from 110 cheapest to 200. Granted, this doesn't come with the blade. Now these Banshees here, when they came out, I believe they were 60 a piece, but they have a special going on right now. You can get 2 for 100. 50 a piece. So this little fellow here costs less than this. So clear winner right there, in my opinion. These Banshees, and you got to remember, we're talking the flagship, the big merchandise item, the experience item from each land. Banshees win by far, I think. I mean, that's 2 Banshees for less than just this. So definitely cheaper to get your merchandise in Pandora. Next category, experience. Now, when I say experience, I mean if you buy a Savi's lightsaber, you're building it, and there's a whole storyline, a whole event that you have to do. Same with the Banshees. However, you don't have to do it with the Banshees. You're paying for the experience for Savi, and the reason I know that is the Banshees are the same price regardless of if you get them from the Rookery or if you just buy them in a store. You can buy them in multiple stores in Animal Kingdom. That's actually what I did. I bought the 2 and had them shipped here. But you don't have to do that. You can do an experience as well. Now, the Savi's Workshop experience, in my opinion, this is an opinionated one, is much, much better than for the Banshees. I haven't done the Banshee one, but you can sit there and actually see it. Unlike Savi's, it's in a closed building. You can't go in there unless you're making a lightsaber or with someone who's making one. So be mindful of that, but definitely a better experience for the Savi's blade, or lightsaber as a whole. I would highly recommend that one. And if you're buying a lightsaber, as I mentioned before in the Savi versus Legacy video, I think Savi's are much better. And the experience is included with that. So experience goes to lightsabers. Battery. This one is kind of a big one for these lightsabers. This Savi blade, after I had it for a few months, the battery died. Did not last long, and I rarely used it. So, not really great with that. The Banshees I did just buy. However, I like that you can use them without even using the battery. I mean, all the battery does is provides the noise. Everything else is just pulley cables with the little handle. So the Banshee, completely optional. You don't even have to have batteries in the thing, and you can still play with it. So that is a huge plus for me, because these lightsabers are essentially just display pieces if you don't have batteries in them. It's essential, which makes sense. So battery life goes to the Banshees. Next category, this one again is opinionated, but the fun factor. I think it's a tie. They're both a lot of fun. You can sit there and have this on a perch or on your shoulder and just play with it or entertain people, take it to work. And lightsabers are always fun too. You have someone else, you can battle with them, even though you might be a little hesitant on how hard you hit them. So fun factor, that one's kind of a wild card, but I enjoy them both equally. Next, display. The reason I say this is because you buy these things and then you're excited, you got them, and you take them home and you're like, well, now what do I do with it? Well, funny thing was now they have display stands for the lightsabers. So you can buy a display stand and display just this part. Obviously you won't display it with this because it's not really supposed to technically be there. So they do have display stands. These look great on display. They also now though have perches for the Banshees. And I believe they run for the same price. I think they're like $25 for the ones for these, and I think they're $25 or $20 for the lightsabers. So this is kind of a personal preference because they both have the option to be displayed. I think the lightsabers look better on display. This, not so much, but they do have the option if that's something you want to do. So I'm going to give that point to lightsaber. Next, we have customability or customization. If you're buying a legacy lightsaber, you don't have any. You buy the saber, that's what you get. But with the Savis, you have a massive amount of choices. I mean, you have 4 options to begin with, but then upon that you have tons of possibilities from there, including your build, but then your kyber crystal as well. And if you do like I do, just because they offer you green, blue, red, and the purple, violet, you can still buy more kyber crystals. I have a yellow one in here right now. And you can also add white too. So customization, a lot to do with the lightsabers. Now for the Banshees, they do have a ton of different colors and designs for them. I mean, it's not like you just have green and purple. They even have different shades or different variations of the purple one. Some might have like black designs along with this. I don't know how extensive the customization are with these, but they do have a lot of different ones, and they have special edition ones they release as well. So nice to see they have different Banshees, but fundamentally they're all the same. They all operate the same. They all do the same things. So customization will definitely go to the Savi's lightsabers. And the last category is size. This is kind of a strange one because these are very small. You could take these into the park. You can clip them on your belt if you want, probably. Very small. But you've got this thing. And these are useless other than display pieces without this. And I find this to be very inconvenient, very impractical to carry around unless you have your case. Which, if I was to carry it around, I wouldn't really want to have this. You know, it just makes more sense to have the hilt. Banshees, however, are not all that big. I mean, if you wanted to travel with it or carry it, you can just fold this up, and pretty small space there. Not a lot to it. So I'm going to give that one to the Banshees, unless you're just taking a hilt. Now, overall, these 7 categories, it's 3 and 3 for what I'm giving it here. It's a complete tie. But overall, if I had to do it again and I can only have one, I would go with the lightsaber. As fun as these Banshees are, really like them, I would go with the lightsaber. But the catch is, it would have to be a Savi one. These are much better, I find, than the Legacy sabers. But that being said, I'm really glad I discovered these and finally checked it out. I think if you're going to go to Disney World, because again, Pandora's only there, don't skip out on these guys. If you can get one cool souvenir and you're on a budget, this is the way to do it, especially now that they have the 2 for $100. I mean, that's awesome. $50 for one of these, and this is their flagship souvenir. Absolutely awesome. I really like the Banshees. I really like the lightsabers. It was really hard to choose, but I just wanted to give you all some insight on the pros and cons of both of these. So which do you prefer, lightsaber or Banshee? That is going to do it. Thank you all for watching. The caravan is moving on.